Morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well myself. Uh, so thanks for asking. Uh, so we've got a bit of a different topic tonight, as you guys can tell by the video title. So most of my RC stuff is gone or broken or forgotten about, but very few RCs have made it to the end of my RC career. And I kind of wanted to go over some of them today just to kind of show you guys how they're here, why they're here. Um, so there are 6 RCs that have made it. And I'm going to go over those 6 RCs right now. These RCs are currently running and driving. So we have the TRX4 79 Bronco, the Mini TRX 4M, the Miss Geico, the Red Cat RDS, the Losi Micro B, and the Team Associated B7. Those are the 6 vehicles that have made it, surprisingly, to be able to even live this long in the RC family, or at least in my RC collection. So, yeah, we've got a couple of them up in the room here today, and I'm going to show you guys their conditions and how they're doing. Because so far, oh crap, trying to find a pinion gear, guys. Excuse me. Oh, you know what? I think that pinion might be in the Rustler. As a matter of fact, I believe it is in the Rustler. But yeah, so we've got a couple of those vehicles up here in the room with us today. A couple of those RC vehicles, which I have 3 of them in here with me right now, and I'm going to show you guys those vehicles. So also recently I've been working on kind of an at-home RC track for just kind of for fun. So we're going to get those. I'll show you guys the car here in a sec. We got Sam in the chat. What is up? We got the dragon person. Not much people here. Yeah, I actually just started the stream, so that's why. But anyways, we have this Upgrade RC chassis protector. I've already used one for my Micro B. And these are great. They're going to make your chassis last so much longer. I'm doing good. How old are you? Where are you from? I'm 18. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. Cyborg Jackowl says, "Sup? How you doing, sir?" So yeah, let me grab one of the vehicles to show you guys, because this is highly the most requested vehicle on the channel, and I haven't really made much content with it since I stopped making videos a while back ago. But this is the fan favorite right now. This is a TRX4 1979 Bronco. This is probably one of my favorite RC cars of all time. It's got the Pro Scale light kit. It's got rock lights underneath it. I'll get it fired up so you guys can see it. And the body's also taken a beating because I've let idiots drive it before. So when I purchase a new body for this vehicle, it will be a show body for rock crawling competitions. But the stock crawling performance is really good. I'm very impressed with the capability of this rock crawler, and it being a Traxxas. You can get parts for it everywhere. Let's pop the body off so you guys can see under the hood of this body. So this wire right here is for the light kit. The light kit for this car, no joke, was $100. And the rig itself, with all the upgrades I have in it, is worth about $650. So it is it's up there for a pretty penny. Why do I have a 3S in this? It can take 3S, but I don't need this particular 3S. I run it on these 2-cell batteries. These are great batteries. case you guys were wondering. But yeah, so this is the inside of the rig. It's got a total of 4 servos in this vehicle. Most RCs only have 1 servo. This one has 4, and I'll show you what they all do here in a sec. This car has got a 2-speed transmission in it. So most RC cars only have a 1-speed. This one has a 2-speed, a low and high gear, and it is remote selectable on the controller, which is awesome. This RC also has cruise control and remote locking differentials. So if you are a huge rock crawling person, even in the real world, you'll know that you lock up your diffs for crawling. But yeah, so this is the diffs are currently locked right now. But yeah, I enjoy this rig. It's very fun to drive because I can't really own the real thing because of how rare it is. So yeah, I just enjoy the RC rig. So but most of my RC stuff now being gone, this car is a little bit sentimental to me. It was my last RC that I ever purchased, and that it makes it a really special one because I wanted an RC that was going to look good, that was going to be reliable, that I wasn't going to have to fix all the time, that I could upgrade. And I was highly considering the Axial SCX10 Jeep Gladiator, or the as for the Axial platform, or like the Axial Capra, but the Traxxas features just stood out to me. You can find a lot of RC rigs out there with a 2-speed transmission, but not a lot come with remote locking differentials. So the TRX4 is a very complicated RC machine, but it is so much fun to drive, especially having that high gear. So if you guys are ever in the market for a great RC rock crawler, it's going to last you so many crawls without any maintenance, really, I would highly suggest a TRX4. And if you don't like the Ford body, they got Chevys, they got a Mercedes body, which is the G63, the 6x6. They have a new Ford Bronco body. They got K10s. So even if you are not a Ford person, I'm a classic Ford person. I don't really like modern Ford too much, but I'm a huge classic Ford fanboy, and so therefore, I just like the classic Bronco because, I mean, the classic Bronco look is so good, and Traxxas did a phenomenal job with this body with the detail work on it. It is just it's really well done. So shout out to you guys at Traxxas. You guys do probably the most amazing scale bodies. Aside from not having the interior, but me personally, I don't like having an interior. So Gage says grown man BTW. Yeah, grown man can have fun with stuff like this too, right? They're adult toys is what they are. All right, so let's show you this thing fired up. So I'm going to turn on the remote here. I do use an adapter just because I can get my dad to solder, but when you solder and cut off the stock connector, you void the warranty. And on a $600 rig, I don't think you really want that. So let's plug this in. Now, when you plug this in, I have it wired so the rock lights come on immediately. And these are bright rock lights, guys. Like at night, these are super bright. They light up the trail really well. I believe the Axial ones also fit in here, but they are way more expensive than the Traxxas ones, which is kind of a first, really, actually. Oh yeah, you can also change the mode for low beams and high beams and your turn signals as well. Let me put the body on just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So, start it up here. Eventually, I will get an engine sound kit for this rig, just because I feel like it'd be very scale. I love that clipless body system. So the servo in it, it's got a decent amount of torque. You're going to want a more torquey servo in the future, but it's not bad. So these are the front headlights on the rig, and if you press the button on the light module, or if you have the link module, you can use that, but you can turn them off, low beam and high beam, and then off. Oh, I have my turn signal on. What the heck? I can only admire RC cars online. Oh, yeah. Gotcha, man. So here, let me turn these headlights back on. We'll keep them on low beam for now. So that also turns on these lights, which you can configure the turn signals on, so you can have it on or off. So to turn on, you just do that. And then when you initiate the turn, so say you're driving and you're turning, when you're done, it will stop automatically. So that's awesome. Bro, price. So these typically run for about $520 without the light kit. If you purchase the optional light kit, you're going to run about 620 bucks. If you don't have a battery and charger, you're probably going to end up paying $800 for the whole thing. So it's a lot of money, but in my opinion, totally worth it. You got to get one. It's so cool. We also have the tail lights in the back. So we have the brake lights, and we also have turn signals, and we have reverse lights. And that is probably my favorite feature of the light kit, is the reverse lights, because they just look so dang good. Actually, here, let me turn off my overhead light so you can see the lights a little bit better. But this thing is lit. Literally. It's literally lit. So let me turn that back on for you guys. I want to send $50. How do I send it? I am not going to say that, because I've been committed to someone for over a year who is very special to me. So I will not be saying that. But yeah. So tire-wise, these tires are very good. For a stock Traxxas tire, they grip really well. And you can also mount a spare tire on the back, which I'll probably end up doing at some point. Love from India. That's a cool place. I'd like to go and tour there. But I mainly want to go and tour, like, Italy. I'm a huge Italian car guy. I love Italian cars. Oh dear, I did not just do that. Okay. So like I said, this thing has a, Aria, what's up? He says, nice one, dude. Appreciate it, bro. This RC has got the 2-speed transmission and the remote locking diffs. Got any Arrma? Currently, I have a Typhon Grom brushless, the BLX, and I have the Losi NASCAR, but it's built on a Arrma Grom platform, so you could technically classify that as an Arrma. TRX4, yes. TRX4, 1979 Bronco. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I went with this body. I was thinking about going with the new one, but I'm really glad I went with this one, because golly, the detail on it is just so good. And if some of you guys are thinking about buying the new Bronco because it has all the updated features, they've updated all their TRX4s with the metal servo horns, the latest and greatest. So all their TRX4 line has been updated and upgraded. So it's good. First RC car price. That is a good question, but unfortunately I don't know. And part of the reason is because I got my first RC car for Christmas, my first hobby grade, when I was 5 years old. It was a Losi. It was like a mini desert buggy, I think is what it's called. Mini desert truck. It was a mini desert truck by Losi, and I love that little car. It was one of my favorite looking RC cars at the time. So yeah, it was a great car. It was a great trainer. And then 3 years later, I upgraded to no, I'm sorry. It was 5 years later. I upgraded to what did I upgrade to? Mini Revo VXL, which was not reliable at all. The gears would strip. It was overpowered for its size. The Arrma ground platform is superior to it. It was still a fun car to drive, though, when it worked. Nice Bronco TRX4, says Cooper. Thank you. Bro, that helicopter price. What helicopter? I don't have a helicopter. Actually, I do. I have a Blade Mini or Blade Nano S3, but it's out of commission right now. I got to fix it. Can you please show us another RC? Yes, I will gladly show you. I got 2 more RCs up here with me, actually. I'll show you the body of one of them I've been working on. I was a pro racer, so I have a custom Team Associated B7 that I built myself. This is a custom painted body. Yeah, this is my favorite RC car to drive. It's fast. It's the best handling. You know, people can say Arrma RC is the best or Traxxas is the best, but when you build an RC car yourself, kit quality is just unmatched. If you build an RC car kit, the quality is unreal compared to a ready to run. Have an Arrma Fury, top speed at 84 miles an hour. Man, yeah, I guarantee you tuned the crap out of that thing. Yo, what's good in the news, says Peak Soccer. What's up, Peak Soccer? Had 2-wheel drive /I got up over 80. Yeah, I had a 2-wheel drive /2, but I sold it because I could never get the thing to drive right. What is your most expensive RC car? The Bronco, easily. I've spent the most amount of money on that thing. But anyways, well, actually, the Pro Boat Miss Geico over there, that boat, that one right now is worth $800 brand new because they don't make it anymore. Okay, so for another RC, this is another one that I really enjoy driving. If you guys are looking for a great travel RC car or one to race with your friends around your house, this is the cheapest RC that I own at $130. And as most of you RC guys probably know, this is a Losi Micro B. This is a phenomenal RC car. It is fast, it is durable, it handles like my competition buggy. So this thing is based on a real race platform, and it's just great. This is the best all-around RC car that you can buy, in my opinion. If you don't like the buggy, you can buy the truck or the truggy version. So, and they use mostly the same parts too. But I do have an upgraded chassis protector on this one, and then I have the metal steering knuckles on it because that's the only part I've broken on it, and it took a heck of a beating before that broke. But yeah, really phenomenal little RC car, $130. This is a great starter RC car to answer y'all's question. For those who are trying to get RC, what is a good cheap option? What I just mentioned. Also depends on the size you want and what class. So if you want a crawler or a truck or a truggy or a buggy, you might have to give me some more details on that. We suggest an Arrma Fury. It's very tough and very beginner friendly. I would agree with you on that, except here's my problem. Short course trucks do not handle well on concrete or even really on dirt because they're so top heavy, so they have a tendency to roll over. So I would recommend a Arrma Typhon, and that is because the Typhon sits down low and it corners so much better, and you get all the durability of the Fury in the Typhon. Now, how do I know this? Is because I've done multiple RC research. I'm planning to work for a hobby shop here in the next couple weeks. So, yeah. Good beginner rally car, the Relarlo. There's a Relarlo rally car that's really good, but it's from a Chinese brand. Relarlo is a good brand, but you risk parts availability. So that's why I always buy from the major brands, is so that way I can have instant part availability, because otherwise I have to wait a couple of weeks or even a couple months just to get a part. Also, like RC car, but my parents did not give me money to buy. Yeah, I buy all my RC vehicles myself because my parents did not they stopped funding me when I turned 13 and now I'm 18. The only problem with the Typhon is the front shock towers. I had one and it broke, so I had to buy a whole new chassis. That is very interesting because the shock tower is separate from the chassis, unless if you're talking about the Arrma Typhon Grom. If you're talking about the bigger Typhon, the 6S Typhon or the new and updated 3S Typhon, that shock tower is a separate piece. And I've bashed the living heck out of my big Typhon, and I've never broken a shock tower. Arrma claims that Fury is a waterproof, but it's not, and I had to wait half years for back order. Yeah, okay. I'm going to make something super clear. If an RC car says it is waterproof, it's not. It's really not. Because you got bearings and bearings rust, the electronics rust, the motor bearings rust. I cannot tell you guys how many Arrma vehicles I have burned through from electronics dying. I had a Vortex that died. I had an Arrma Vendetta, which is that car behind me. It died from electronics because the motor actually exploded from water damage. So yeah, the only waterproof vehicle really that I've seen be capable enough, if you thoroughly clean it after, is the Traxxas TRX4. If you can, I've seen people submerge the TRX4 and it still drives. But yeah, for the most part, they are not waterproof. Do not drive them in rain, snow, water. Just don't do it. I promise you it is a bad idea. And you're going to end up spending so much more money on it. Even with RC boats, if you don't properly maintain your RC boat, it'll rust on you in 3 weeks. So you got to take the flex shaft out and you got to grease it. Now, I've never personally greased the flex shaft on the Miss Geico, which is amazing somehow. But, yeah. And I have 2 rock crawlers, by the way. I have this one, which is the classic Bronco that you all saw. And then I have a mini TRX 4M Bronco. Let's get a lot of the RC 112 scale RC cars. Max 50 miles an hour. High speed. Yeah, the Rolalo 112 scale buggy I've heard is really good, as well as the rally car. But again, you risk that spare parts availability. So if you want to get something like the Rolalo, get a Arrma Typhon Grom or a Arrma Mojave Grom. You will not be disappointed. Had to replace on it was the ESC, the tires, stock motor, drove it through multiple puddles and still works. Stock steering servo, and there is no rust on it. Interesting. That is very interesting because all my Arrma bearings have rusted. But thank you, Bryson, for letting me know that. I will take that into consideration if when I decide to purchase another Arrma or a Traxxas. But right now, I'm not doing many RC stuff because I'm focusing in the music industry and working on my real car and my real car stuff with engines and whatnot. So RC is kind of out of the picture for me now, but I'll probably come back to it at some point, especially the B7. The Team Associated B7, I built it myself. I painted it. I put Hobbywing electronics in it, the best you could buy, and it has been the most rewarding driving experience. I've driven infractions. I've driven felonies. I've driven other race buggies, and nothing drives like the Team Associated B7 does. It is just so precision dialed in. Every part is adjustable. You can tune the car however you want it to drive. You can adjust the ride height, your camber, your toe. You can adjust the caster blocks. You can adjust the gear ratios. You can adjust. I could go on and on about the adjustments. It's insane. Buy the brushed motors, not the brushless. Ooh. I'd have to disagree with you on that one because brushless motors last way longer, they're faster, they're more efficient, and they're quieter. The only thing I could recommend buying a brushed motor for is a rock crawler because brushed motors have those brushings in them, so you can crawl really slow and there's none of that cog or splutter. But if you get a sensored brushless system, you will not have cog or splutter. But in most RTRs, like most RTR brushless Arrmas, they are sensorless brushless systems. They are built cheap and they cog and splutter before they actually go. So brushless motors last way, 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 way longer than brushed motors do. They're more expensive. And brushed motors, if you're going cheap, then a brushed motor might not be a bad idea. But I've never heard someone say a brushed motor is better than a brushless motor. Except for in a rock crawler. That's the only exception I've heard. And also, brushed motors are not very waterproof either. I had a Traxxas Blast, and it rusted. So when it started to slow down when the battery was charged, I pulled the boat in, and the motor was on fire because it rusted. Welcome to brushed motor life. Man, Dr. Pepper's good. Gamerface is in the chat. Should the Huskies return? I'm actually leaving after the parade, bro, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to play. I got stuff I have to go and do. So I'm wishing you guys the best of luck, though. Here, some of you guys... I'm going to drive the Bronco into the picture because I'm sure some of you guys are tired of me. So I'm going to drive the Bronco in. Have you heard of the Arrma Limitless? It's $400 and those. Yeah, so the Limitless is a roller. So a roller means you have to put your own electronics into it. Now, recently, Arrma released the Limitless Ready to Run, which does 120 miles an hour out of the box. If you haven't seen that, you can now buy the Limitless as an RTR option for $800, or you can buy the roller for $420. Are you a Traxxas guy or an Arrma guy? Ooh, that is a good question. So, I think it mainly depends on the buyer. Traxxas has its advantages, Arrma has its advantages. I would say for price and for price and value for what you get, I would say I'm an Arrma person. Arrma has made some amazing RCs, and I think in the mini RC car line, Arrma is dominating right now with their Grom platform. Completely destroys Traxxas out of the water. But you also have to remember, Traxxas offers some stuff that Arrma doesn't make. Traxxas makes rock crawlers, Arrma doesn't. Traxxas makes nitro vehicles, Arrma doesn't. Traxxas makes boats, Arrma doesn't. Traxxas even makes a drone under their Latrax brand. Arrma doesn't. So, Arrma has better value, and I only have a Traxxas. That's right, you have the Slash. I will say, though, Traxxas, when it comes to their big scale vehicles, is way better. The X-Max and XRT completely destroy the Arrma Kraton and Arrma Outcast simply because of their durability. The Arrma RCs are mostly metal. So when you have all that weight and it comes down on top of you, or if you hit a concrete landing at the skate park, something is going to bend and something is going to break. On the Traxxas vehicles, they're made out of plastic, which can flex, and they're much, much lighter at the end of the day. So when it comes to the big scale stuff, I would say Traxxas. When it comes to the little stuff like the Groms, I'd go Arrma. But most people who are starting out in the RC world or in the RC hobby usually start out with a 1/10 scale vehicle. And for the 1/10 scale line, when it comes to the durability and the value for money, Arrma has the leading edge. And Traxxas has claimed to put heavy duty stuff onto their vehicles. Might I remind you, Arrma has not done anything heavy duty to their vehicles, and they are much more durable at the end of the day. An Arrma Typhon 3S is much more durable at the end of the day than a Traxxas Jado. So, yeah. Also, Arrma vehicles have almost no air control. Again, I'd have to disagree with you. I had an Arrma Vortex, and it had phenomenal air control. Or take, actually, I don't agree with you. It's a difference of opinion. Let's put it that way. The Arrma Outcast 4S has a very short wheelbase. It is the best stunt truck for front flips, back flips. And for the air control, just turn off your gyro. The gyro is going to fiddle with it midair. So just make sure you turn off the gyro and you're good. And Traxxas vehicles also have great air control. If you have the 4-wheel drive vehicles. If you have a 2-wheel drive Arrma or a 2-wheel drive Traxxas, you're not going to get much air control because not all 4 of the wheels are spinning. So if you want a vehicle that can do air control, front flips, back flips, whatever, just get a 4-wheel drive vehicle. I promise you, you'll be really satisfied with it. Even the Arrma Typhon, I have a video of it doing a backflip. It's an amazing car. And it's got it every time I gave it to a friend of mine, and every time I ask to drive it again, I'm always so stunned about how good the car is for the money. And it's what, like $350 maybe? That TRX4 is $650, and it's not nearly as fast or as durable, but it looks better. You gotta admit, at the end of the day, it looks better. And you have that 2-speed transmission and those remote locking diffs. Should I buy a Stampede VXL or a Slash? I personally would not recommend either of them because both of them are top heavy. If you want that platform, get a Rustler 4x4. The Rustler 4x4, in my opinion, is the best 4x4 vehicle that they make in that platform because it's not buggy low, it's not Stampede high, it's right in the middle, it's not top heavy like the Slash. You get all the same parts, it looks great, clipless body mounting. It is a phenomenal vehicle to drive, and it handles amazing too. And they make an ultimate version of it, so obviously it has to be good if they make an ultimate version. But they also make an ultimate Slash, so at the end of the day, it really depends on your choice. I kind of feel like the Slash kind of sounds supercharged like a Hellcat. Well, the Rustler sounds the exact same because they all use the same drivetrain. They all use the same gears. A Rustler is just a lowered Slash chassis. It uses mostly the same parts. Just like under the hood of every TRX4, it's mostly the same parts, just some of them have a longer chassis, some of them have a shorter chassis. Mine is a shorter chassis. Or the Arrma 3S lineup, the Senton, the Typhon, the Granite, the Big Rock. They all use the same parts. It's just the difference in chassis length and body style. At the end of the day, they're all really kind of the same car. But it's the little changes like top heaviness, CG, and all these other details that comes into what makes an RC car handle good. I have all three, and I think the Slash drives the best, but the Stampede does better off-road. Stampede does better off-road because it sits up higher. It can ground clearance more things. But you're not going to be racing... If you raced a Rustler 4x4 against a Slash and a Stampede, the Rustler would win because it's the most track performance. Do you do drone stuff like DJI? I used to have a DJI Spark, but I traded it for the Miss Geico boat that you guys saw earlier in the stream. That was well worth the trade too. I actually really enjoy that boat. But that boat is going on for sale. It is incredibly rare. It's a custom one-of-one paint job. And I'll let you guys see it again. It's right there. Custom one-of-one paint job by me. I hand painted that thing 50 miles an hour on the water, 4S capable. So if you guys are interested in purchasing that boat, hit me up on Instagram, let me know, and I will be in touch. I'm getting a DJI Mini 3. My friend has a Mini 3 actually. It's a phenomenal drone. Bro, that boat is W. I agree. It is very fun. I've never driven a more fun boat on the water. It is so much fun. I just have nowhere to drive it, so I'm selling it. But to the person who is going to buy it and drive it, seriously, you're going to have a blast with it. It is so good. Gonna sell fast. Yeah, that thing will definitely sell quick. I heard that the RTH is incredibly accurate. The return to home. Yes, it is very accurate. Even on my DJI Spark, which is an 8-year-old drone, or formerly owned DJI Spark, the return to home feature is amazing because it's GPS. So, yeah, it's phenomenal. It really, really is a great drone. DJI Mini 3 is a great... I have one, and it's the coolest RC I have. Yeah, it's a great drone. But now they sell the Mini 4, so you could even get a Mini 4 if you wanted to. Excuse me, guys. Man. Probably should turn my Bronco off to save some battery. Not gonna lie. On a 2-cell LiPo, though, for crawling, you get almost 2 hours of drive time. Really is a great vehicle to just go out to a crawler track for a couple hours and just have some fun with. If you guys were wondering if you wanted to buy my Bronco with the light kit and everything, sorry, it's not for sale. That one's a keeper. And now I'm just fiddling with my micro B while I'm reading the chat. We're having a good chat, guys. The only downside is it does not have obstacle avoidance. Yes, I will say that is a pretty major letdown. Also have a Traxxas TRX4M Defender. I bought a light kit for it, and every time I steer it or make the steering wheel move, the lights flicker like really fast. I don't know what's wrong with it. Interesting. Okay. So, if your lights are flickering fast, that could be a problem with the BEC, which is built into the ESC. It could be a voltage problem. If it's not going into low voltage cutoff, which is basically telling you the car is dead, then I don't really know what could be going on with it. But when will you help my pay? I can't help you pay for that, dude. That's not happening, man. But hey, if you want to set up a GoFundMe, it's never a bad idea. I have it on my YouTube channel. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out after the stream, and I'll comment and let you know and see what I can figure out. Yeah. Wow, how rude. Dude, I got to save my money for me in the future. Preston says, thanks, you're welcome, dude. Anytime. If you guys have any RC questions at all, or any RC tips, tricks that you guys want to learn from me about any of your RC vehicles, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. I did post there is a community section on the RC Dude 2007 channel. So if you guys want to go and upload your photos or videos on what is wrong, okay. The Shaw Aviation, we're not talking about this right now. We will talk about it later. Right now, we are talking about RC stuff. But yeah, so I posted a community section. So if you guys want to go and upload any of your RC issues on there, we will. I will reach out to you guys. Talk about the A320neo. Oh, Horizon Hobby and eFlight have created a Airbus A320neo that actually I believe releases here in the next couple of days for you guys to be able to go and purchase. It is about 500 and I think it's 550 for the plug and play and 620 for the bind and fly. Everything is quick connects. It's a very, when you compare all the other Horizon Hobby planes, the Twin Otter, the fighter jets they've made, the cargo planes, the A320neo with the quick connect connectors and the fast assembly process and the amount of features you get, it is probably the most advanced Horizon Hobby aircraft you can buy, besides the Hangar 9 stuff. But the Hangar 9 stuff is like $2,000 and upwards. It's crazy. But yeah, it is a it's a very, I'm also very impressed on how aerobatically capable it is. I've seen people doing knife edges and barrel rolls and flying it upside down, and it's got an amazing roll rate for a plane that is supposed to fly scale. So it's like a mix of both. You get both aerobatic capability and scale capability all in one plane. Like, what more could you ask for? If they made a UMX version of it or like a micro version, I think that'd also be really cool because not everyone has the space to fly the big version, which I'm sure they'll come out with eventually, knowing Horizon. Yeah, it's very cool, and I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to own one day. You know, right now, again, I'm selling most of my RC vehicles, and we're kind of taking a pause on the RC hobby to focus more in the real car world with automotive training and the music industry. But, you know, hopefully a few years down the road or even a couple years down the road, hopefully I'll have the opportunity to own one when it's a little bit older. And yeah, I'm just very excited to see what people are going to be able to do with that RC. So the Shaw Aviation, thank you for bringing that up. That's a great topic to talk about. Oh, also, you guys, tomorrow night I'm doing a live stream in remembrance of Charlie Kirk. We're going to be doing a nighttime crawl session or a nighttime crawl remembrance for Charlie Kirk. If you guys know who that is or if you supported him, you guys can tune into that. I'll be hosting it at my house. So even if you guys don't have RC rock crawlers, if you have RCs, you just want to come and drive in remembrance of Charlie Kirk, please do come by. And yeah, we will do a RC session in remembrance of him to promote Charlie through the RC hobby. So yeah. I'm gonna show you I delete it. I don't know why, but I'll post about it tomorrow after school. Yeah, and if you want to, Bryson, if you want to post about that on the community section of the RC Dude channel, of this channel, please do, because that's who I mainly check the most. I need a new ESC for my Mini E Revo. What is a good cheap one? So you have the E Revo brushed. I would personally just recommend getting the same one because of how cheap it is. You can go on Amazon and you can find some ESCs on there. My best advice to you would be go on Amazon. They have brushless systems on there for like 30-40 bucks for the Mini Revo. Get yourself a cheap brushless system. I promise you it is so much better than the brush system. I'll even help you install it, and you're going to be very much more pleased with the long-term reliability as opposed to the current brushed system that you have in it now. So that would be my best advice to you, Gamerface. Get yourself a brushless system, and yeah, that's what I'd recommend. I got a brushless system off of Amazon one time for, I think it was $35, and that system lasted me almost 5 years. Unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore, but when it did run, it was amazing. I need a new battery too. Okay, I've got some batteries that will actually fit in your Mini Evo. I've got 2S's and 3S's, so that I don't use anymore, so I can hook you up on one of those. And also that is compatible with the cheap brushless systems that you can find on Amazon. So we'll get your Mini Revo up and running again, man. I promise you that. We're going to make it happen. Kind of making me want to do a brushless swap on the Bronco, but that car is really for skill, is what it's designed for. I would also recommend getting a new ESC for your Slash. I think they make like $40 brushless ESCs on Amazon for the Slash instead of paying like $100 for the new Traxxas one. And honestly, they're kind of a little bit better than Traxxas ones. I'm not gonna lie with you. But yeah, that's the first thing I would do is focus on getting your Slash a reliable vehicle again, man. And then go on to your Mini Revo, because the Slash you can actually race pretty well. But yeah, we'll definitely look at that Mini Revo and bring it by, let me take a look at it, and let me do some testing on it, because it could be a multitude of things with how old that car is. It could be the receiver, it could be the ESC. Obviously, if you need a battery, you need a battery. That's fine. But yeah, just bring it by. Let me take a look at it. I'd be more than happy to fix it for you for free. So, yeah. I wish I still had my Mini Revo so we could race, man. I'm really tempted to go and buy another one because it was my first real RC car before they get discontinued. So let me know in the chat if you guys want me to go and pick up another Mini Revo, because we might just have to do that. I could sell this Ford Bronco right here and go buy me another Mini Revo, and I'd still have $300 left over. But again, this car is too special. I'm gonna put this back, by the way, because this thing is heavy. Also put the Micro B back. Speaking of which, Gamerface, we're going to be hosting race nights here at the RC Dude house for the Losi Micro Bs and the Losi Micro Ts, as well as the team associated 28 scale vehicles and the Mini Zs from Kyosho. So if you're ever interested in getting one of those vehicles, we're going to be having race nights with TVs and transponders and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, if you are ever in the mood to purchase a one of those vehicles, come on by and do a race night with us, and we'll hook you up on the transponders, and we'll have an official race night. So the track is under construction currently, so I'm excited. Can I have mod? In order for you to be a mod, you really have to be someone who I know in person. So unfortunately, I cannot give you mod permissions, but that's just kind of for personal reasons. So, but thank you for watching, of course, as always. Sounds fun. Yeah, it does sound fun. And eventually, I'll buy a second micro vehicle. It'll either be a B or a T. It'll probably be a B, because you and I both agree that the B drove better. So when friends come over, it can be kind of like a loaner car. Will my Traxxas transponder work? It should work. You know, you could, in the Micro T, you could probably fit a transponder. In the Micro B, it might be a little bit rough. Unless you can fit a Mini Z transponder in there. But yeah, any transponder, because your brand of transponder is not specifically Traxxas, because Traxxas doesn't make transponders. So yeah, it's universally compatible. So it should work. And they're not cheap either, like $130 for one transponders. Absolutely insane. So, oh man, we'll probably be having a race this Sunday when the track is finished, hopefully. So, we're gonna move a monitor into there and some speakers, and so you know, hopefully it should be pretty good. I'm excited. I'm waiting for some more chat to come in. No, I know, bro. It's crazy for transponders. Yeah, it's like, it's insane. I should race the Bronco at some point. What do you guys think of that? I'd probably lose, but it'd be for fun. We got any more chat? Or do you think it's time to call it a night, guys? We've been going for almost a solid hour here, so. Yeah, I think we're going to call it. Well, all right, guys. That's kind of a wrap. You know, hopefully this channel, I assume at some point, will probably get transformed into a probably get transformed into a bass channel, like a music channel. I don't know. WTall in the chat though, yeah, for real. But as always, guys, I'm RCD2007, and we'll see you in the next one. And shout out to Gamerface. Thanks for joining, bro.